Hello folks, welcome to the Lease Deals of the Week. I'm back from China. I'm extremely jet lagged, so we're going to whip through this one a little bit for you. Huge thanks to ALA Insurance for sponsoring today's video. Link on the video, in the video description, link in the video description and popping up on the screen for you. Also, of course, a link to leasing.com, who are behind all these deals we're going to look at today. We're going to do EVs, then plug-in hybrids, then petrols and diesels, and then at the end we're looking at the commercials, and I am really going to whip through this, so hold on to your shirts. Leap Motor C10, not the most exciting car in the world, but 261 miles of range, 370 litres of boot space, 7.5 second 0 to 62 time. It's a lot of car for this much money. 3-year deal on 10,000 miles a year. You're looking at about $1,250 up front and $287 a month for that. Fully electric, of course. Then we've got the Jeep Avenger hatchback, £303 a month with 909 up front, 249 miles of range, 355 litres of boot space, 9.6 second 0 to 62 time. Really nice interior in these, and the infotainment system I particularly like. It's the same one that's in the Fiat 500e. I don't think that's a bad thing. I think it's a really nice little system and better than some of the systems in some of the other Stellantis group cars, if I'm being honest. 900 up front, 303 a month on a 3-year deal. Bags of value for money with this one. I reviewed one of these recently and I've got a lot of time for it. 298 miles of range, 8 second 0 to 62 time, a really lovely interior, way better than you would normally expect on an MG, and 453 litres of boot space. It is, of course, the MG5S, and it's the trophy long-range version. This is a 2-year deal on 10,000 miles a year, but about $1,250 up front, $297 a month. I think that's a lot of car for that much money. Skoda Enyaq, this one's got the smaller battery, so it's 269 miles of range, 8.1 second 0 to 62, but a massive 585 litres of boot space. 3-year deal, 10,000 miles a year, 323 a month with about 1,300 quid up front. But if you want a bit more range, but you still like Skoda, we've also got the L-Rock for you. Bit of a smaller car, but you've still got 470 litres of boot space, 356 miles of range, 6.6 second 0 to 62 time. So it's sportier, a little bit more compact, but you've still got plenty of room in it. And it's got this new Skoda styling, which I think is a good thing. They've sort of breathed on their design language a bit and just brought it a little bit more up to date. And I've got a lot of time for the L-Rock. 366 a month with 1395 up front. That's a 3-year deal on 10,000 miles a year. Next, we've got the Cupra Tavascan, 353 miles of range, 540 litres of boot space, 6.8 second 0 to 62 time, 1,100 quid up front. There's no broker fee on this one. 2-year deal on 10,000 miles a year, £363 a month gets you into that one. Peugeot E5008 Allure, 310 miles of range, 7 seats in this one. I think this is the only 7-seat EV we've got in this video. 348 litres of boot space, but that's with all those seats up. 9.7 second 0 to 62 time. 371 a month with about 1,400 quid up front. And that one, again, is a 2-year deal on 10,000 miles a year. If you want loads of range, 389 miles is not too bad. And that's what you get in this Ford Capri. 1,153 up front, 384 a month, 6.4 second 0 to 62 time as well. So it's not exactly slow. And a cavernous 572 litres of boot space. If only they called it something else. Why didn't they come out with an electric muscle car and call that a Capri instead of this? Anyway, it's a lot of car for the money. 2-year deal, 10,000 miles a year, 384 quid a month. VW ID4, it's got the same underpinnings as that Capri, basically. 343 miles of range in this one, 6.7 second 0 to 62 time, and 543 litres of boot space. 1,173 up front and 391 a month gets you into that. Folks, just a very quick reminder to subscribe to the channel if you haven't already done so. Thanks. If you're going to buy that, by the way, it's 46.5 grand. So give that some thought. The Ioniq 6 Ultimate, we've seen this a lot lately. The price has been round about this, about 1,500 quid up front, £400 a month. I'm in love with that car. I think it's brilliant. The Ultimate is the one I would go for personally. I've done a long trip in this, and there's a video on that on my channel, and there's a video review of it where I just gush about this car. 339 miles of range, 7.4 second 0 to 62 time, big 20-inch alloys. It's on that 800-volt architecture, so it charges super rapidly. There's really nothing not to like about this car, apart perhaps from its styling, because it is a bit of a love or hate one. It's definitely a love or hate one. I love it personally, but a lot of people don't. But it's a glorious thing to drive, and I can't recommend that highly enough. 3-year deal on that, 400 quid a month. Look at this one for some value. This one's insane value. This is the dual motor Polestar 4. This car costs £68,000. Okay, it's got the pilot pack as well. 3.8 second 0 to 62 time, 526 litres of boot space, and 367 miles of range. 10,000 miles a year, 3-year deal. It has got £354 broker fee on this, so you're looking around about 1,750 quid, 1,700 quid up front. And then £486 a month. That's on a 3-year deal on 10,000 miles a year. I've reviewed one of these recently, so if you're interested in that, go and have a dig around for the video. Audi A6 e-tron Avant. This one's great value at the moment. 2,150 up front and 617 a month. 3-year deal, 10,000 miles a year. This is nearly £71,000 if you're to buy this car. 435 miles of range, ladies and gents. 502 litres of boot space. 0-62 in 5.4 seconds. And 20-inch alloys. And look at it. I mean, it's spectacular. It's wonderful. It's a big, sporty, luxurious estate car, 617 quid a month. If you want something a little bit bigger and perhaps slightly more ostentatious, you can go for the Q8 e-tron. You can also get the the Q8 e-tron Sportback for similar money to this. This one's got 279 miles of range. I think the Sportback's more like 290. 569 litres of boot space, 6 second 0 to 62 time. You're looking about £2,500 up front and £755 a month. Folks, if you are considering getting yourself a lease car, head on over to ALA Insurance. Use the code GYM10 at checkout, save yourself 10%. I think you should get yourself some gap insurance. You should certainly consider it. The ALA product is 5-star de facto rated. It's got a 99% payout rate, and it's got an A-rated insurer sitting behind it. And if you've forgotten about it or you're not sure about it, gap insurance makes up for any shortfall between what the lease company is asking in terms of settlement, what the insurance company is paying out. And it will also, if you choose optional cover, pay a little bit towards you perhaps getting yourself into another lease car and perhaps covering the car insurance excess from your main insurance claim. If you're buying a car instead, gap insurance can make you whole again in the event that the car's written off, and you lose a lot of money on it because, you know, you've maybe had the car for a little while. It's not worth as much as it once was. Insurance companies tend to pay trade price, so the gap insurance fills in and makes you whole again. Once again, go to ala.co.uk or use the link on the screen or in the video description and use the code GYM10 at checkout to save yourself 10%. You can even use it on the phone. Plug-in hybrids, Mazda MX-30. It's the range extender, this one. So it's basically using the electric motors to power the wheels, but it uses petrol engine to charge up the battery. But of course, you can plug it in as well. All electric range on it's about 50 miles, but it's a slightly weird setup on these. It's got those weird suicide back doors, and it is a little bit cramped in the back. So it's definitely a car that's better with 2 people in it than it is with 4, in my personal opinion. But it's quite a cool little thing. 3-year deal, 10,000 miles a year, 819 up front and 273 a month. Next, we've got the BYD Seal U. This one's done really well on leasing.com lately. A lot of people have gone for this. 3-year deal, 10,000 miles a year, 973 up front and 324 a month. You've got 425 litres of boot space, 8.9 second 0 to 62 time. Of course, it's plug-in hybrid, 'cause it's in this section of the video. You've got that big sort of twisty screen that you've probably seen in every video ever about a BYD vehicle. 50 miles of all electric range, 33 grand if you were to buy one of those. 324 a month with 973 up front on a 3-year deal with 10,000 miles a year. Cupra Formentor is giving you a bit more all-electric range. This is a car I've got a lot of time for. £328 a month with about 1,300 quid up front. And the all-electric range on this one is 77 miles, which is not too shabby. That's a £41,500 car for 328 a month. 3-year deal again on that one, 10,000 miles a year. The Tucson's always one of the most regularly leased cars in the UK. 1,300 up front, 343 a month on a 3-year, 10,000 mile a year deal. 43 miles of all electric range on that one, 616 litres of boot space. Do you know what? I've got a Hyundai in for review this week. And it made me think there's very little wrong with Hyundais these days. You know, they might not always excel in specific areas, but there's absolutely nothing wrong with them. They're just so well sorted. They know what they're doing. And the Tucson is a great example of that. JQ7, the super hybrid system. Obviously, these have been ridiculously popular. It was the biggest selling plug-in hybrid in the UK last month. £357 a month with 1,300 quid up front, 500 litres of boot space. You've got about 50 miles of all electric range. They say you'll get 700 miles of range if you've got them combined petrol and battery. I reviewed one very recently on the channel. So again, check that out if you want to find out more about them. 1,300 up front, 357 a month on a 3-year deal. Ford Kuga, 2.5 litre plug-in hybrid ST line. 3-year deal, 10,000 miles a year. Looking at about 1,500 quid up front, 1,450, something like that. 7.3 second 0 to 62 time, 628 litres of boot space. And there is the Kuga. All electric range on that one is 42 miles. VW Passat, it's the black edition as well, so it's very well spec'd. £389 a month with about 1,470 up front. 8.1 second 0 to 62 time, 510 litres of boot space, 10,000 mile a year deal on a 3-year deal, actually. 78 miles of all electric range as well. So this is a car most people would be able to commute with using electricity. Hopefully you're getting that very, very cheaply on an overnight rate. And then you've got the flexibility of using that petrol engine if you want to do longer journeys. But 78 miles of all electric range is no joke. The Cupra Terramar is next. 3-year deal, 10,000 miles a year. About 1,570 up front and 404 a month. 8.3 second 0 to 62 time, 400 litres of boot space. All electric range, 72 miles. So again, a very good all electric range on that one. 3-year deal, 10,000 miles a year. The A5, we've seen this one a bit lately. 331 litres of boot space, 5.9 second 0 to 62 time. This one is sort of the entry-level spec. 67 miles of all-electric range, but it's 450 a month with about 1,650 up front. It's a 2-year deal on 10,000 miles a year. A lot of people say, should I do 2-year or 3-year? Usually there's a bit more value in a 3-year. Not always, though. But the 2-year keeps your options open. You know, you're only tied to the car for 2 years. If you like to change your cars a bit more regularly, the way the world is at the moment, you never know when tax rules are going to change, when this is going to change, when that's going to change. I think a 2-year lease is not a bad shout presently. Audi Q5 Estates, the e-Quattro S-Line S-Tronic, 460 litres of boot space, 1,778 up front and 592 a month. 6.1 second 0 to 62 time. All electric range on that one's 38 miles. That's not astounding on that front. But there you go. It's a big Q5 for reasonably sensible money. BMW 5 Series 530e M Sport, you're looking at about £2,000 up front and 574 a month on a 3-year, 10,000 mile a year deal. 6.3 second 0 to 62 time, 520 litres of boot space. £60,000 car, this one. 63 miles of all electric range. Then we've got the Volvo XC60. This is the new T6 plug-in hybrid plus black. With the Geartronic, of course, 5.7 second 0 to 62 time, 468 litres of boot space. And there we go. It's a Volvo, big, sexy, comfortable seats, £61,000 car, 49 miles of all electric range, £608 a month with 1824 up front. We're on to the standard petrol, diesel, hybrid stuff now. Volkswagen Tiggo hatchback, 237 quid a month with 713 up front. That's a small car with a lot of space, 440 litres of boot space, 11.1 second 0 to 62 and 50 mpg for that one. That's a 3-year, 10,000 mile a year deal. Nissan Duke, this is the standard petrol, which is the one I'd go for. It's the Accenture Premium, £241 a month with 724 up front. Then we've got the Nissan Qashqai. This is always one of the best value cars you can get really on a lease. 504 litres of boot space, 45 mpg, 10.2 second 0 to 62 time. 2-year deal, 10,000 miles a year, about 1,100 quid up front and £266 a month. If you want a nicer spec one, and the hybrid, you can go for this one. It's the e-Power 205 Accenture Premium, £298 a month with 896 up front, 63 mpg, 7.6 second 0 to 62, 504 litres of boot space, and you don't need to plug it in. It's a standard hybrid. You don't need to plug it in. 3-year deal, 10,000 miles a year on that one. The Kia Sportage, another very popular car, 1.6 TGDI. It's the ISG2 petrol manual, 562 litres of boot space, 44 mpg and 9.9 seconds 0 to 62. 3-year deal, 10,000 miles a year. You're looking at around about grand 1,100 up front and 275 a month on that one. Then we've got the Cupra Leon hatchback, 1.5 TSI 150. 880 is your initial rental. Then you've got £178 broker fee, and then £293 a month. 49 mpg, 8.9 second 0 to 62 time, and 380 litres of boot space. 2-year deal on 10,000 miles a year. Vauxhall Grandland 1.2 hybrid 145 GS automatic. This one gives you bags of car for this much money. 295 a month. With about 1150 up front, 50 mpg, 10.2 second 0 to 62 time, and a gargantuan 550 litres of boot space. It's all new and shiny and fresh from Vauxhall with this one, and I think that's not a bad car for that much money. You've also got the Peugeot 2008 1.2 PureTech 130 GT Premium Automatic, 48 mpg, 9.2 second 0 to 62 time, and 434 litres of boot space. Not a massive SUV, but it's cramming quite a lot of space into a relatively small package. Then we've got the good old Golf. This is the 1.5 TSI R line, so it's a really nice trim level. Petrol manual, 381 litres of boot space, 48 mpg, 8.6 second 0 to 62 time, and it's a Golf and it's an R line and it's going to be lovely. £931 up front and £310 a month on a 2-year, 10,000 mile a year deal. Now look at this one for a bit of value. Nissan X-Trail. It's the 1.5 mild hybrid Accenture Premium. It's got 7 seats in it and the Xtronic automatic. 40 mpg, 9.6 second 0 to 62 time, 485 litres of boot space. And it's a really good car, the X-Trail. I'm surprised you don't see more of them on the road, because this latest version of the car is a massive step up from the previous one, in my personal opinion. 36-month deal, 3-year deal, 10,000 miles a year. You're looking at around about 1,300 quid up front and 315 a month on that one. You can get a Renault Rafale for similar money, 59 mpg on that one. Then the KGM Torres. These don't come up too often. I think it's a car that looks better than it drives, personally. I was a little bit disappointed when I had one of these in for review. There is a video on the channel if you want to check it out, but you might have a different opinion to me. 976 up front and 325 a month, 3-year deal, 10,000 miles a year. Massive boot on that, 703 litres. The VW T-Roc, this is a really good diesel. It's the 150 2-litre TDI Evo R line with the automatic gearbox, 53 mpg, 8.8 second 0 to 62 time, and 445 litres of boot space. A new T-Roc is coming, which I think is why they've got this one on such a good deal. Obviously, with a diesel, if you're doing regular long journeys, if you need to tow something, it's probably better suited than other options out there at the moment. 3-year deal, 10,000 miles a year, and I think that's not a bad choice. Cupra Terramar 1.5 ETSI V2 DSG automatic, £344 a month with about 1,400 quid up front, 47 mpg, 9.3 second 0 to 62 time, and 540 litres of boot space. That's a £41,000 car. The Cupra 4Mentor. We've already seen the plug-in hybrid. If you want to go for the standard petrol one, 350 quid a month with just over £1,000 up front. And then we've got the Audi A3. Again, it's that 1.5 TFSI from VW Audi Group. It's the Black Edition S-Tronic automatic gearbox. So you're right up there in terms of Audi spec levels. 50 mpg, 8.1 second 0 to 62 time, 380 litres of boot space. And then the last petrol diesel hybrid we've got is the Volkswagen California. 2-litre diesel. It's the Coast Edition with the automatic gearbox, 42 mpg. Not a great deal of other spec on it, but it's the California. It's that big camper. These things are all the money. In fact, this is a £70,000 vehicle. £714 a month with 2,144 up front. That's a 3-year deal on 10,000 miles a year. On to the commercials, just to sort of finish things out. We've got the Fiat Doblo L1 diesel van, 1.5 litre multi-jet, 46 mpg on that one, 950 up front and 215 a month on a 3-year, 10,000 mile a year deal. Don't forget all these commercials, these vans are all ex-VAT, so you need to consider that. Toyota ProAce L1 electric, £217 a month with 652 up front. If you've got business where you do lots of local journeys, local deliveries, maybe window cleaner, something like that, you could save a lot of money by running an electric van. 208 miles of range in this one, 650 up front and 217 a month on a 3-year, 36-month deal. On a 3-year, 10,000 mile deal. Kia PV5, look at this one, 258 miles of range, 12.5 second 0 to 62. This thing, it's got a really good load size in it. It's one of the things that kind of sets it apart from some of its rivals is the amount of gear you can get into a van that's this size. 710 up front and 236 a month on a 24-month, 10,000 mile a year deal. I think that is an absolute bargain at the moment. And I'm sure the prices will go up on them. But that looks like a very interesting one. I'm hopefully going to be reviewing one of those before too long. Fiat Scudo L2 diesel 1.5 multi-jet, 38 mpg on this one, 3-year deal, 10,000 miles a year. Just over £1,000 up front and 247 a month. Then we've got the VW Transporter T32 electric, 201 miles of range on this, 8.6 second 0 to 62 time, 2-year deal, 10,000 miles a year. £268 a month and 806 up front. KGM Musso, this is one of my favourite pickups. I love the Musso, 313 a month with about 1250 up front, 31 mpg, 18-inch alloys on that one, 3-year deal, 10,000 miles a year. I don't think that one's too bad. And then finally we got the Transit L3 minibus. 397 quid a month with about 1450 up front. 14 seats in that bad boy. 3-year deal, 10,000 miles a year. Thank you for watching the video. I've raced through it because I'm just very, very tired. So apologies if it's not up to my usual standards. Please go and support ALA Insurance, our wonderful sponsors for this. I strongly recommend having a look at gap insurance if you're going to lease a vehicle. And massive thanks to leasing.com for all these great deals. Links to both of those are in the video description. Thanks for all the support on the videos, folks. Please give the video a thumbs up. Please subscribe to the channel, and I'll see you on the next one. Huge thanks to all my channel members for your continued support. I really do appreciate it.